Hello and welcome to a very special live event here in Munich. We are here to celebrate the launch of the new Nike Hypervenom 3 football boot. And I'm delighted to say that we will be joined by 5 of the very best strikers in the world, as well as the all-time top goal scorer in World Cup history. So if you've got a question for Gonzalo, Higuain, Edi Cavani, Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford, Miroslav Klose or Robert Lewandowski, we want to hear your thoughts. Let us know in the comment box below. We will read the best questions to them in the Q&A. Not only that, we've also got an amazing prize. This is an amazing prize. We've got the Nike Hypervenom 3 football boots, and we're going to get them signed by all 6 athletes. All you've got to do to be in with a chance of winning is tag 3 mates in the comment box on Sky Sports Facebook page to win. Now, before we speak to the athletes, I'm pleased to say that Nathan Van Hook is with me from Nike's design team. Nathan, how are you?
Doing well. How about you, Adam?
I'm very well, thank you. Now, you are the Senior Footwear Design Director at Nike, and you were instrumental in making this football boot. So I want to ask you, what did you set out to achieve when you were designing it?
Yeah, so the team really set out to really accomplish 2 things when we did this boot. Wanted to do 2 things of letting the player actually cut better on the pitch and also strike. For the cut, we really wanted to focus on locking the player down. Looked at top players throughout the leagues, players like Cavani, Kane, Rashford, Higuain, and Lewandowski. With those players, we really wanted to keep them locked down and create great traction. Once we did that, we allowed these players to actually elude their defense, create space, and once in space, we really wanted to create a large strike zone on the boot, and then bring some Nike-only innovation, which is going to be talked about throughout the day. And that innovation allows players to score goals and have great impact.
And you mentioned them. Explain to me how the pods in the strike zone work, because this is a great bit of technology, isn't it?
Yes. So this has actually been 2 years in the making. And these pods right here, actually, in the strike zone, they're actually, this is our hyperreactive strike zone. They're actually a rate-dependent foam. So what that means is get soft for a nice first touch on the ball, and then they actually get firm. So when you have a high impact on the ball, the pods get firm to allow a great strike, high velocity, and score goals. They're actually lasered out, so they still stay really nice and flexible.
Okay, another big part of the technology, you'll have to explain this to me and all the journalists and the media that we have here present today, is the Flyknit upper. Yeah. Now, what exactly is the Flyknit upper, and how does that work?
So Flyknit's actually a technology we've had since 2014. Allows us to really precisely control the fit pixel by pixel. This is actually the first time that we have a Flyknit low and a Flyknit high. Players love the fit of Flyknit, whether they want a high boot or a low boot. They love the fit. And this is actually the very first time that we actually have dynamic fly-wire cables in the product. What this does, it allows you to cinch down the product with the lace and really keep you locked in, harnessed in, almost like you'd be in a spaceship or a rocket.
Okay, and finally, I want to ask you about the foot or the plate of the boot, as I know that you like to call it. If we can just show the cameras that. Now, that's a very unique, a lot of work and technology has gone into the plate. Can you tell us how that was created, please?
Yes. So actually, the boot's been 2 years in making. The plate's actually been 6 years of R&D.
6 years?
6 years.
Making this
yes, 6 years.
And you've been doing that for 6 years, have you?
Yes.
Wow.
So the amazing part is that when we meet with players a lot, they tell us they want to have a more flexible plate. Players especially of this silo. So what we did was actually have 2 different durometers. And what this allows us to do is have a more flexible plate. Works naturally to the foot, very similar to the Nike Free and all the natural motion stuff we do. What that allows you to do is have greater traction. The studs stay in the ground longer, and we actually looked at each stud positioning, and they're all very data informed. So we have our chevrons, our blades on the lateral side of the boot for great cutting, and then we have our rotational studs on the forefoot of it for toe off and release.
Okay.
Also, 196 grams, super light.
Wow, thank you very much, Nathan, for that.
Thank you very much, Adam.
I'd like to pass you over to my colleague now, Gregor, who's going to introduce our first footballers. Gregor.
That was extremely interesting stuff. Thank you very much, Adam and Nathan. Yeah, I think we can all agree that it's about time we brought out some of those world-class strikers we've been talking so much about, right? Does everybody agree? You want to see the strikers? Yeah, I think we can all agree with that. Okay, let's get right to it. Let's bring out a man from South America. He's been scoring goals and scoring goals and scoring goals. 36 of them last year in Italy's Serie A. Of course, he was top scorer in that league last year, and they probably will be this year again. He's currently with Juventus and, of course, with the Argentinian national team. So please give a warm welcome to Gonzalo Higuain. It's great to have you, Gonzalo.
Hello, Gonzalo.
And we go right back to the next one because there's an empty chair. We don't want that. We want the stools to be filled with people. Actually, originally from Uruguay, right next door to Argentina. Probably a player he knows very well. Let's bring him out. He's currently the top scorer in Europe, 4th year with Paris Saint-Germain, the French champion, Edinson Cavani. Welcome, bienvenidos, señores.
Gracias.
Hello.
It's good to have you here. We had so many questions for you over social media and, of course, by the people present currently. So we shall definitely try to answer some of the questions. I will ask the question in English, then translate into Spanish. Hope you forgive me if it's not perfect. Then you can answer in Spanish, and I will then try to translate it back into English. Let's start. First one is for you, Gonzalo. It's, do you prefer power or placement for shooting? Para marcar goles, ¿qué es más importante, fuerza o colocación?
Yo creo que las dos cosas, ¿no? Para marcar goles creo que lo más importante es tener la convicción de dónde querés hacerlo y obviamente después tener la suerte de que llegue a su fin como vos querías hacerlo.
Okay, so there's actually two more things. It's a combination of both. Gonzalo said you need both power and you need a placement, but you also need the conviction. You need to be convinced that you are going to score this goal, and you need a little bit of luck, swear to actually score the goal. Interesting answer. Let's move on to the next question. This one is for Edinson, also from the media. Here, it's how do you prepare mentally for big games? ¿Cómo te preparas mentalmente para partidos muy importantes, muy grandes?
Creo que la mentalización parte de la base de la concentración y bueno, de empezar a imaginar cada momento de esos que te va a tocar vivir dentro de un partido, dentro de una cancha de fútbol.
So very importantly, Edinson said is that you start to imagine yourself playing that game, imagine certain parts of the game, aspects of the game, situations of the game that might come up, and then have a better chance of dealing with them once they actually do come up. Very interesting stuff. Impressed, guys. Let's move on to another question. This one for Gonzalo again. This comes from social media. A question by Andrew Guerin. This is interesting. How many goals do you expect to score this season? Last season, I just said you scored 36 goals. Esta temporada, ¿qué piensas? ¿Cuántos goles vas a marcar?
Difícil. Siempre uno cuando inicia la temporada cree que la mayor cantidad de goles posibles para ayudar al equipo a vencer títulos. Creo que eso es la base de un delantero y lo que se le pide, ¿no? Hacer goles. Ojalá que pueda hacer, como dije, lo mayor número posible para ayudar a la Juventus a ganar campeonato.
Ahora tienes 13 con Juventus en la Serie A. 13. Hay sobre 20, 25, uno.
Bueno, llegar a lo del año pasado es difícil, pero mi meta es, como dije, el mayor número de posibles. Lo bueno que la Juventus tiene otros atacantes que también marcan muchos goles y eso es importante para llegar a ganar cosas importantes.
All right, so Gonzalo said that there's other strikers who also want to score goals, and those 36 goals he scored last year is probably not going to reach that. And it's not important, he says. More important is that you score some goals, and then you as a team can be successful and gain titles, basically, and that's what he wants to do. He wants to gain as many titles, win as many titles as he can with Juventus this season. Next question from social media is for you, Edinson. What was the best moment of your professional career? ¿Qué ha sido el mejor momento en tu carrera hasta ahora?
Yo creo que el mejor momento de mi carrera ha sido, bueno, cuando hemos ganado la Copa América con mi país. Fue un momento histórico para mi país, para el grupo de la selección y bueno, ha marcado en mi vida un momento especial.
So the biggest success, the best moment in his career was when he won the Copa America with Uruguay, not only because it was a personal goal, but also for the entire team, the entire group of players. Was a moment that they had wanted and then they finally reached. Great stuff, guys. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. And with that, it's back over to you, Adam.
Thank you very much, Gregor. Great stuff. Now, time to meet another two footballers. First up, a man who is banging in the goals for fun for Tottenham, fresh off the back of a hat-trick and a man of the match performance. Please welcome Spurs and England's Harry Kane. There he is. Harry, how are you?
How you doing? You
Thanks
okay?
for joining us. Yeah, and joining him, another man, England international and Manchester United player. Please give it up for Marcus Rashford. Sorry, it's a long walk. Hi, Marcus. How are you? Harry, we'll start with you firstly before we get to talking about the boots and yourself. Congratulations, you're in order. You became a father for the first time. How has your life changed since baby Ivy arrived?
Yeah, no, it's been great. It was an amazing experience to be part of. To be a dad now feels a bit surreal, to have her there at home. So, just an amazing feeling. And, I'm looking forward to the future with her.
Congratulations. And we've opened up the questions for the massive amount of journalists that we have here today. First one is for you, Harry, and it's from the media. They want to know, what is the mindset of the striker, and is it different? The mindset of the striker, is it different from players playing in other positions?
I think, obviously, being a striker, everyone looks to you to score the goals and to be the match winner, let's say. But, you go into the game with the same mindset. You want to win, you want to work hard for your team. But, you just take that responsibility to score goals, as the defenders probably want to keep a clean sheet. Yeah. So it's the same sort of thing. But, every game I play, I just try and score and try and win.
And you have been scoring a lot of goals recently as well, so it's working. Marcus, coming to you, it's been revealed today that you'll be using Nike Hypervenoms for the very first time. How excited are you to be wearing the boots?
Yeah, I think Nike are always trying to improve our performances by bringing out new different technologies, and so I'm just kind of excited to get used to wearing a different boot and seeing what the future holds with that boot.
Okay, and it brings me on nicely to the next question, which again has come from our media today. They'd like to know, how is it working closely with Nike, and how does the boot technology actually help your performance, would you say? Yeah,
I've been with Nike from a very young age, so I think kind of growing up with them and building a relationship with them is important for myself. I think they put a lot of time and effort into the technology of the boot and things like how it grips the ground, how it grips your foot, how the ball feels when you touch the ball. So it's just one of them moments when you're just excited to see what it holds.
Great stuff. Now, we have been opening up the questions to social media again. And I have to say, we've had hundreds and hundreds of comments come in to all our players, so thank you very much. Keep putting them in, and we'll pick the best ones to ask them. Harry, we're going to take one from you. I've got to warn you, though, this is from George Brown, who is an Arsenal fan. So this is coming on social media. He has said, do you think Spurs can win the Premier League?
Yeah, definitely. I think we come very close last year. That was a great experience to be part of. But I think we've got better as a team. We've grown as a team. We can hopefully use that experience to help us this year. And look, we're on great form. We're high in confidence. So if we continue that, then there's no reason why we can't win it. And
on that as well, the Chelsea result, I want to talk to you about that. How big is that psychologically as a result? When you play a team who are on an unbeaten run, a winning run for that long, does that give you great psychological belief that it can be achieved?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, Chelsea have been flying at the minute, and they was on a great run of games, top of the league, and we was trying to catch them. So we knew it was an important game for us to try and win and get them 3 points, and we've done that. So that gives us a lot of confidence going forward. Anyone we play, we know if we play like that, we should win.
Yeah, okay. And question for you, Marcus. This is from Stephen Pillin, again from social media. Thank you for your comments. He would like to know, who is the best player that you've ever played with? And that can be for Man United or England in your career.
I think probably have to say two, Zlatan and Rooney are the two that...
Zlatan and Rooney?
Yeah. That stand out the most. Obviously, growing up watching Rooney play week in, week out at Old Trafford since I was young. So, I think they're the two that you kind of look at and try and emulate.
And I want to ask you about, how has Zlatan's arrival, not just on the pitch, has he been a big, because he is a huge personality, isn't he? Has that affected you, his personality and his leadership off the pitch as well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for the young players coming up, to see his character and the way he approaches every game and his mentality, I mean, it's invaluable. Some players just can't bring that when they move clubs. So I think we have to just try and learn from him whilst he's here. It's just one of the moments when we can kind of take what we can out of his game.
And obviously, he mentioned Wayne Rooney there. I presume, same with you, he's one of the best players that you've ever played with in your career. You go along with that?
Yeah, no, definitely. Wayne, obviously, skipper for England. He's been fantastic the first time I went away with England, just watching him train, watching him finish. He's a fantastic player, and he's done so well in the game. He's obviously close to breaking the record for Man United. Yeah. So, just an incredible player, incredible goal scorer.
Brilliant. Thank you very much to Marcus and Harry. Gregor, over to you to introduce our final two guests.
Yeah, well, incredible. That's the key word right now. What a lineup we got for you here, and then there's more coming up. We got more strikers. Now we got one who's probably had the shortest journey here because, he plays in Munich. He's with FC Bayern now in his third year. He keeps scoring and scoring and scoring, and also he's the captain of the Polish national team. So please, a warm welcome for Robert Lewandowski, everybody.
Hi.
And also, finally, we have the world champion. He's a world champion. Not only is he the world champion, but also is he the World Cup tournament all-time leading scorer with 16 goals. Please welcome Miroslav Klose. Miro, servus. Miro, Robert, schön, dass ihr da seid. Welcome. It's great to have you guys here. You can answer in German. You could questions, by the way, and then again I shall try to translate. Of course, there's been many questions also for you. Let's start with Robert. Who's the toughest defender you've played against? Wer ist der härteste Verteidiger? Wer bereitet dir am meisten Schwierigkeiten und warum?
Ich denke, die gibt es zwei. Die schwerste Innenverteidiger, wo ich gespielt habe. Also einer ist Mats Hummels und Jerome Boateng. Die sind wirklich stark. Trotzdem, dass ich spiele mit. Aber auch wenn ich habe früher gespielt gegen ihn, war wirklich sehr schwer.
Anybody else from international teams? Sonst jemand, ein Stürmer von Rübner, ein echter Gegner?
Ja, ich denke auch, wenn du spielst gegen die Barcelona-Spieler oder gegen Real Madrid-Spieler im Verteidiger, ist auch nicht so leicht. Und ich denke, das ist ganz normal. Das musst du immer kämpfen.
So the toughest defenders he's played against are, yes, defenders from Real Madrid and Barcelona, but obviously the ones right in this very team, be it Mats Hummels or be it Jerome Boateng, probably Germany's top defenders they are right now. Is that a good school then? Ist das eine gute Schule dann, for you to play different games? Hilft dir das weiter?
Ja, das ist ganz normal. Auch wenn du trainierst gegen Mats oder gegen Jerome und du weißt, dass es wirklich sehr, sehr schwer, dann manchmal im Spiel ist es leichter und deswegen das manchmal hilft. Ja.
Du fühlst dich manchmal unterfordert in einem echten Spiel, so you feel under challenged sometimes when you play real games?
Ja.
Okay,
das stimmt.
That's a great thing to hear from you. Let's go to Miroslav Klose. Miro, you've been around a long time. You had a career on the highest international level there is. 16 years. You've obviously 16 goals at World Cup, which is a record probably never will be beaten by anybody. How in your view, how have football boots changed? Wie haben sich Fußballschuhe verändert? Du bist 16 Jahre dabei, das war sicherlich nicht immer so Hightech, wie wir es gerade eben gehört haben. Wo ist der große Wandel, wo ist der größte Unterschied vielleicht?
Ja, also natürlich muss man sagen, dass sich das schon geändert hat an Fußballschuhen. Also ich meine, ich habe 16 Jahre, 17 Jahre Nike-Vertrag und ich habe mit den ersten, also mit Tempo angefangen. Man muss sagen, dass die Schuhe wesentlich leichter geworden sind. Also das muss man schon sagen und waren viel schwerer am Anfang. Die Stollen haben sich ein bisschen geändert, aber jetzt seit 7 Jahren spiele ich Hypervenom und man muss sagen, das ist eigentlich der beste Schuh für meinen Fuß, für meinen Plattfuß, weil ich vorne viel Platz habe und da ist der Schuh wirklich sehr bequem und jetzt mit dem neuen Material, also da muss man schon sagen, dass Nike auch da wirklich das alles sehr gut macht.
So Miro says the Hypervenom is just the perfect shoe for his foot, which is very flat, he just said. And then, of course, everything was way different 16, 17 years ago. There weren't so many different, how do you call them?
Boot studs?
Yeah, the studs, and then everything has changed a lot, and the material has changed, and first and foremost, they've become much lighter. Do you sometimes wish you could start your career now? Würdest du dir wünschen, könntest du deine Karriere heute nochmal beginnen mit diesen federleichten Schuhen?
Ja, aber ich glaube von den Fußballschuhen her, aber vom Körper nicht mehr.
So yeah, when it comes to boots, definitely, but my body doesn't do it anymore. All right, so we got some more questions from social media. Thank you again for that, for all those questions you asked there online. We got a special date for you, Robert. September 22nd, 2015. Allianz Arena, you were playing Wolfsburg. How did it feel when you scored 5 goals in 9 minutes? Also natürlich das große Datum. Alle Bundesliga-Fans kennen es noch. In nur 9 Minuten 5 Tore von Robert Lewandowski gegen Wolfsburg. Ein Wechselspieler noch dazu. Wie war das?
Ja, ich denke, das war ein unglaublicher Abend. Nicht nur für mich, aber auch für ganze Fußball. Das, was ich gemacht habe, ich denke, das habe ich noch ein halbes Jahr gebraucht. Das geht zum Kopf, zu meinem Kopf, aber das nach jedem Tor, ich war einfach fokussiert auf das nächste Tor. Und ich war einfach in meiner Aktion zum Aktion und versuche einfach Tor zu schießen. Und das jetzt ist auch schwer über dieses Spiel für mich sprechen, aber das war wirklich was Besonderes und das bleibt bestimmt bis Ende meiner Leben.
It was unbelievable. It was special back then, and it took him about half a year to actually come to grips with it and realize what he did there in that game against Wolfsburg. And then he scored goals, and then he was focused again to score another one, and he did score another one, and then did score another one. And question is, have you ever scored more than 5 goals in one game? Hast du schon mal mehr als 5 Tore gemacht? Vielleicht dann aber auch wirklich auf einem hohen competitive Level?
Wenn ich war jünger, wahrscheinlich ja, aber bei Profi, ich denke, das habe ich nicht mehr als 5 Tore geschafft. Das ist nicht so leicht. Und ja, bei Junge wahrscheinlich habe ich mehr Tore geschossen, aber bei Profi nein.
So when he was a younger player, yes, that happened, but not on this high competitive level. Which kind of reminds me, Miro, if I remember correctly, there was one World Cup that, against some team from the Arab world, you scored a lot of goals in that game. Do you remember that? Da war ein Spiel bei einer Weltmeisterschaft, da hast du gleich im ersten Spiel auch ordentlich zugelangt. Wie viel waren das damals?
Mein erstes WM-Spiel, 3 Tore, ja. 8-1 aus.
3. Ja. Ist auch ordentliche Leistung, vor allem bei einer Weltmeisterschaft. So he scored 3 goals at the World Championship against Saudi Arabia. Great stuff there. We got another question for you, Miro, now, and that's also with a date. Comes with a date. The date is July 13th, 2014. Es ist der 13. Juli 2014. Maracanã, Rio de Janeiro. I think you do remember. You won the World Cup. How did that feel? And was that a dream come true? Was it something you dreamt of as a boy? War das wirklich dann ein Kindheitstraum, der wahr geworden ist damals?
Ja, natürlich. Also wenn man Kind ist, will man natürlich Profifußballer werden. Das ist natürlich schon mal der erste Wunsch, aber wenn man dann Fußballer ist, setzt man sich natürlich andere Ziele und will mit seiner Mannschaft nicht nur die Vereinsmannschaft Titel sammeln und gewinnen, sondern auch natürlich mit der Nationalmannschaft, und es gibt nichts Schöneres. Also das kann man gar nicht beschreiben, welche Gefühle da auf dem Spielfeld danach. Ja, über die Party will ich gar nicht sagen, aber es war fantastisch.
We had a fantastic party. He doesn't want to say more about that party, but you had tears in your eyes. We could all see that. Millions and millions and millions of people could see that. Of course, it was a dream come true. Every young player dreams about reaching the World Cup final, of course, and then winning it in the best case. And he did, so it was the pinnacle of his career. I wonder, you guys, how did you look up to Miro when you were growing up? Hast du aufgeschaut zu Miroslav Klose?
Ja, das war ganz normal. Wenn du ein junger Spieler bist, dann schaust du immer auf die beste Stürmer, und meine Person war genau so. Und auch wenn die Deutschland gegen Polen gespielt haben, aber natürlich wir mussten warten dann, wenn ich gespielt gegen Deutschland, und dann wir konnten erst einmal gewinnen gegen Deutschland, aber natürlich das immer für die jungen Spieler ist schon, das kannst du auch für die Superspieler schauen.
So, of course, growing up, he followed closely what Miroslav Klose did in his career, and you probably do realize that Miroslav Klose, of course, of Polish heritage, but decided to play for Germany. So whenever Poland played Germany, Poland, of course, being Robert Lewandowski's native country, he wasn't too happy when Miro Klose, I guess I can say that. You weren't too happy. When did you first meet? How was that? Wann habt ihr euch zum ersten Mal getroffen? Ging das über die Bühne? War das über Nike?
Wir haben also natürlich gegeneinander gespielt, das ist klar. Aber dann, ich habe in Rom gespielt und wir waren kurz hier in München. Dann wollten meine Kinder ein Foto mit Robert haben. Und ich wollte das Training von Guardiola sehen, und deswegen haben wir das beide auf einen Termin gesetzt, und dann haben wir uns kennengelernt. Ja.
So this is how they first met. Interesting enough, it's the kids again. They were to blame, so to speak. It was a game, he was still with Lazio, and he was in Munich, and he wanted to see training sessions of Pep Guardiola at the time, still with Bayern Munich, and of course Robert Lewandowski and Miro's kids wanted to take a picture with Robert, and so this is how they met, and I guess it was love at first sight. Liebe auf den ersten Blick. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Excellent. And with that, it's back to you, Adam.
Thanks, Gregor. Great story. Thank you. Sadly, that is all we have time for. We hope you've enjoyed this, and it's given you a little insight in what it takes to become a top-level athlete. I'd like to thank Nike, all the players, the journalists here today, and all of you lot on social media for sending in the questions. Don't forget, we still have a fantastic prize, a signed pair of Nike Hypervenom 3 football boots, which will be signed by all 6 athletes here today. From all of us here in Munich, thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Super.